Let's spend just a minute now as we sort of close this part out about cloud. And I want to give you 4 really absolutely clear perspectives on how this cloud channel might work. And you'll see in my picture here, there's ScanSource at the top. We're sort of play the role of the distributor, and a lot of our vendor partners in that box there, in that building. Right below us is the Smart Reseller. This is our reseller that we do business with as a distributor. And then there's his end user in the bottom right there. There's the cloud up there. We'll come to him in a minute. And so for right now, the first thing that cloud distributors do, is that our job is to enable resellers to deliver end user data centers. And this is what's been going on forever. The only thing that might have changed here is that now, instead of calling them end user IT departments, now we call them private clouds, okay, because we're maybe using virtualization technologies there and some of the cloud technologies. And it might be anything. It could be unified communications, it could be AIDC at POS, it could be video surveillance, it could be almost any kind of an application. And you'll see here in the animation here, the product comes from the distributor through the reseller, they install it at the end user site, and the end user gets one nice fat paycheck in the process. And listen, this has been going on forever. This is the way the IT channel has worked forever, and we just merge a little bit of cloud discussion into that thing with virtualization and other things, and that's what we're still doing that. We'll always do that. That's what a cloud distributor does. Also, a cloud distributor's job is to enable resellers in developing in-house data centers, in-house to the reseller. Now, the smart reseller starts to look out and say, all right, I've been installing these things on-prem now for a long time. Wouldn't it make sense, I wonder, for me to install it here and sell it to the end user as a service? And that helps me now develop into this cloud environment. And that's a good idea. Smart resellers are all thinking in terms of that. They're thinking in terms of hosting their own UC platforms, their own AIDC applications. Maybe it's the ones that they've written, their own applications, and they're hosting them themselves. Hosted video surveillance, whatever it might be. And so along comes with it the servers and storage, all the infrastructure that's there, but now they want to do it in-house. And our job is to help them do that. So the first thing we do as the distributor is help the reseller make a data connection between them and the end user. And that comes from carrier services that are all part of this cloud distribution model. Once the connection is made, then the reseller promotes his data center, and now instead of installing the equipment at the end user site, he installs it in his own facility. And now you think, well, okay, is that really smart? Yes, it is, because it gives him the ability now to manage that very closely and to develop a monthly recurring revenue model between him and this end user. And the end user pays as a service for the things that now this reseller is hosting. The reseller paid CapEx to the distributor. It is selling the product OpEx to the end user. And as such, he's now able to add a new layer of things, these new layer of managed services. Because it's much closer to him, he can do mobile device management and wireless network management, communications as a service. He can manage those as a service, as an ongoing service offering that he adds to now the as a service technology that he's providing. So we're helping them with their in-house data centers. Here's a third option. We want to also help them now scale their data center. And so you see now part of the distributor's relationship here is that we don't just own the vendors, but we also own cloud resources as well. So we have a relationship with cloud provider up there. And in this case, it's a colo. And so we give the reseller now access to co-location facilities, so that as he puts one unit in and puts another unit in and puts another, and he's out of space, or maybe his building is not accommodating. A lot of these it's not fit for a big data center. So how does he scale that operation? Instead of putting it in his building, he puts it in the co-location facility. Runs just as well from there. It's connected to the end user. He manages it just like he always did. He gives them those same managed services as he did before, but now because it's at a colo, yes, maybe some new options. Things like disaster recovery and backup services and other kinds of services that now he can wholesale from that co-location facility. He wholesales to the end user the actual placement of the product in the co-location facility, as well as some services that colo might also add to the mix, along with the product as he provides it. And now again, all he's doing now is he's increasing that monthly recurring revenue factor back from his end user. Last option. We want to help resellers deliver complete cloud solutions. And so now as part of our cloud hosting provider, as a vendor through our distribution channel, we have access to co-location facilities. It might be multiples of those. They might be regional. But also we have access to their data centers as well. Big data centers who can provide those infrastructure, platform, software as a service kinds of offerings that you can only get from big data centers. And you might be able to get now from your ScanSource distributor, from the cloud distributor, ScanSource hosted IP Office is an example. A complete hosted solution that the reseller is able to acquire as a hosted service through their distributor that they provide ultimately out to the end user. They manage it. Again, these are just IT resources that are sitting someplace else. They manage it and provide that solution just like they always did. It could be AIDC applications, could be video surveillance, almost anything along with it comes to managed services, the disaster recovery backup that they did. Also now they can sell to this end user additional infrastructure, hosted email, all sorts of other applications that they can offer now because they have this relationship through their cloud distributor of this hosting company. And then also some of the other vendors may have their own hosted solution. And so like ShoreTel Sky, Polycom, Motorola, these others have hosted, the other vendors have hosted solutions that they host. And so now when this reseller, this smart reseller comes to the cloud distributor portal, he's able to see all of these options that come more directly through the distributor or through other manufacturers. And again, our job is to aggregate all of those resources into one place, make them crazy simple and automated to provide. And the big news there is that monthly recurring revenue stream continues to grow and grow and grow over time. It's a very healthy business model for resellers who really have the courage and the know-how and the ability to embrace this cloud model. And a cloud distributor's job is to help resellers do just that. What should I know? I should know some things about the cloud landscape. You know, use on-prem and colo in a sentence. Some things about these hosted terms, these three questions we have to answer, choices we have to make. You should know a little bit about these three service models. They're pretty straightforward. These deployment models, what you should know there is really private cloud, public cloud, and that normally we'll have a combination of the two. You should have some grip of these 5 essential attributes. You have some idea. Just see them in a basic list there and to be able to understand the role that they play, to be able to have a conversation with your customer about CapEx versus OpEx. That's important. And then ultimately you have to understand this cloud channel that we're all involved in and know what cloud distributors do, but also know what cloud resellers do. And to be able to aggregate and automate and be the advocate for this cloud technology through our channel. Also today we've learned about convergence. We've learned there's one really big network, and that network is a connection of all IP networks. We've learned some things about the OSI model. We've learned to speak cloud and what the cloud does and how the cloud channel works. Now, all of that in preparation to build a network. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to build a network for this small company, and understanding how to build that network, it's vital that we have these concepts that we've already learned about this big network, about how it all works. So we're going to have some fun as we learn to build this network. Thanks.